If any of you have seen us before, you recognize a new face over there.
Mr. Paul Heenan.
Round of applause. There you go.
An 18-year-old prodigy, ladies and gentlemen. Makes us feel very old up here.
I remember walking from the studio with him, really having just met him and being blown away by how young he was and how incredibly empathetic he was. And I met Polly's parents, and then it was an aha moment. Of course, well, this is how it happened.
Who was at the time just like 15 years old, and he was just this little wizard with electronics and all things music, and that was Paulie. Turns out he was a dynamite musician. His aptitude for music and electronics was just through the roof. I really believe he could have done anything.
And he was just this kid, like this high school kid, like a genius.
He was your tech for a long time, and then your lead guitarist slammed his hand in a car door.
Yep.
Right? And couldn't play, and so you looked at Paul, and you're like, hey, can you play it?
You want to play a show?
And
I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. And like with it, just jumped right in and didn't miss anything.
It was amazing.
He's very talented.
Amazing.
Very talented.
Never rehearsed with us before, just knew the stuff.
Yeah.
He had a charisma with people, and people really liked him.
I mean, musically, we toured with a litany of bands. Billy Idol. It's pretty extensive touring with Big Head Todd and the Monsters. We played with a couple member of the Talking Heads out in San Francisco one night, which was pretty awesome because we recorded with Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads.
He had a great sense of humor. It was a great wit that would just have everybody in stitches.
Paulie just was crazy with skills. Just hack through a problem.
He just would excel at things, managing or supervising all these kids with degrees, technical degrees. He was self-taught. He was just able to do things. He could read and teach himself how to do things, and then he was able to teach other people how to do it.
And here's this kid, no college, no degree in IT, no anything like that, and he first goes to Apple, and they're like, well, what can you do? And he shows him, he's like, okay, immediately make him a genius. Within a very short amount of time, he was head of the geniuses of that store. Within a couple months of that, they offered him to manage the next Apple store. And then he kind of got tired of just straight up corporate structure working for someone, so he decided, I'll try being a consultant. Within a couple months of that, he was doing head of IT for a small company, running their servers and maintaining their servers and maintaining all of their computers.
Teach you and give you all the knowledge he has with hopes that you will be as good as you can be. He was the kind of teacher that would absolutely delight in watching his students surpass him.
He was multi-talented. He wasn't one-dimensional.
There wasn't anything Paul couldn't do.
I was really impressed that he would let you figure things out, and if he realized that you were going to go really far down the wrong path, that's when he would kind of step in and be like, hey. Yeah.
He talked about everything. That's how Paul was with just about everybody. Fun, witty, and bright, and oftentimes things would come out of it, like starting projects.
Or they'll talk about starting a band or making a CD. But if Paul was in the room, it would happen. Make things happen.
Confidence, trust, empathy, and then to hear him say all the things that he was going to, work on in Madison. He's like, so we got to get working on the music, right? And I'm just like, wow, yeah, and he was setting it all up. So follow through.
He was always the friend that you could count on, that you could rely on, who would step up and help out however he could.
It's one of my favorite parts of Paul's IT career. He befriended noted psychotherapist Fern Cohen in her last days of dying with cancer. He would go and visit her and lay with her in her bed, and they would look at music on his laptop. Prior to her bedridden days, he did help her create a CD. That's what Paul did. Do things that they needed and wanted to do, and he would figure out a way to make it happen.
That was the thing about Paul, is you asking him for help was kind of a formality. He didn't want anything in return, didn't expect anything in return. He wasn't keeping score. He did it because he loved you.
I think generous. He was incredibly generous. It didn't seem like his generosity had any strings attached. It was like a gift.
And the last summer Paul was here, he went to visit John's brother Tom, who we had not seen in probably 8 years. Tom told me, Paulie changed my life.
What's really amazing is his friendship. The way he would be, his generosity, his kindness, and his supportiveness.
Paulie was just cool.
Yeah.
You wanted to hang out with him. Things were more fun when he was around. If you were having a party, you wanted him to show up. If you were going out for dinner, you wanted him to be there. So he was fun to be around.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was fun.
David 14 out.
David 14 out.
Everything's okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
That should be
David 8, shots fired. Suspect down. We are 10-2. They're here.
And then gave him a big hug and told him I loved him. That was the last time I saw him.
He has a dog named Nico, and it's interesting. Nico is a very leggy, beautiful, big German Shepherd. Polly was really close to that dog. Poor dog.
Yeah. I'm just very happy that Nico's with John and Dory now, in a good place, and the Heenans have that just a little sliver of connection, extra connection to Paulie, just because of that.
The best parts that I saw in Paul came from his mother, came from Dory.
Oh, he got his problem solving from you.
Paulie was such a combination of all the great traits of his awesome parents.
How the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Roughly, I guess, 9 months after Paul's murder, I just had a breakdown at work. I really couldn't think straight anymore. So I retired.
I just miss him being that person that I reach out to when I want to share something with someone. It's just simple little things. You're watching a TV show and something tickles you and you just, you wish you could share that with Paul because you knew that he would have enjoyed it too. You miss the little things, the little Paulieisms, the enthusiasm for the simple pleasures in life.
Well, we tried not to take him for granted when he was here with us.
Devastating. Utterly devastating. It was. I don't think I'll have a moment as bad as that one for the rest of my life.
When you lose that, almost like there is no afterlife. Your kids almost make you feel immortal. Because when you're gone, they'll be there, parts of you in the world, right? With Paul gone, I mean, it's killing me too. The Heenan name will die out with my brothers.
It's a shame not to get to see what would happen next. Sad that we will never know.
The best friend I ever had.
I'm a more patient and empathetic person now because of watching his patience and empathy.
And he was torn from me. It's a part of me that's just gone. I'll miss everything about it.
It was wonderful. I loved it. I loved it all. I loved it all. His mind was so creative.
He was special. He can't be replaced.
Yeah, how do you sum up a life of the most beautiful person you've ever known in a few paragraphs? It can't be done.